respected professors, research scholars, and students. It gives me immense pleasure to share some of my ideas and thoughts with regard to UGC NET Commerce aspirants. I am Dr. S. Bhanujanathan, retired professor of economics, V.O. Chidambaram College, Thuthukudi. Now I am going to share some of my ideas and thoughts with regard to business economics, Unit 3 of UGC NET Commerce. The term economics refers to the ordinary business of mankind in the day-to-day life, how he is in a position to spend his amount of money and he is in a position to get satisfaction is called economics. The term business economics relating with the economic theories, logic and tools or economic analysis that are used in the day-to-day business decision making. Decision making is one of the very important aspects of any person, including an entrepreneur. An entrepreneur is investing his amount of money in order to produce some kinds of goods and services, making plans, and he must definitely take decision beforehand. Business economics is nothing but the managerial economics, that is, it is a synonymous. It is concerned with the application of economic concepts and economics to the problems of formulating rational decision making with the help of what he is holding in his hands, either in terms of raw materials or in terms of money or within a short span of time. How he is in a position to involve in the day-to-day business is nothing but the rational decision making. What are all the various elements of business economics? The term demand, supply, cost, market, price, and capital marketing, promotion of sales and products are the elements of business economics. What is meant by demand? Demand is nothing but the willingness on the part of the purchaser to buy some goods by way of paying some amount of money. This is called the demand. So willingness is an important aspect with regard to the consumers. Supply. Quantities offered for sale per unit of time in the market is called supply. There is supply of goods and services in the market. Cost is nothing but the purchase of raw materials and the other related products in order to produce the finished type of product is nothing but the cost. The cost incurred by an entrepreneur is very important, either in the short period or in the long period. Market is nothing but it is a place where buyers and sellers are meet together for buying and selling, and the values of the products are determined in terms of price. That is, price is nothing but the value assigned to the finished type of a product. That is, it is ready for sale in the market. Capital budgeting. What are all the raw materials that he intends to purchase is not. So all these things that he is in a position to make prior planning beforehand. Promotion of sales. What are all the various methods followed by him in terms of selling his product are called the promotion of sales. Product. Products are nothing but the goods and services ready for final consumption is called the product. Objectives of business economics. The main objective of the business economics is the identification of the problem. Before that, he has to take some decision. and statement of alternative solutions to the problem. That is, what are all the problems that he is in a position while at the time of producing the product that he must know in order to try to solve the problems. Before that, he has to take the decision, that is a relevant decision. Before that, he is in a position to analyze the various kinds of data. Data with reference to marketing, data with reference to monetary transaction, data with regard to consumers' demand, data with reference to the substitute of goods and services, and the marketing conditions. All must know before that in order to set up a business. When there is some problems arises, he is in a position to try to solve that problem. That is one of the very important objectives. And choosing the best solution consistent with the firm's objectives. Firm's objectives, what are the firm's objectives? Firm's objectives are nothing but production of a product and sales maximization and the profit maximization and decision making are all the very, very important firm's objectives. What do you mean by scope of business economics? What are all the various areas covered under business economics are called scope of business economics. There are two important subdivisions that we are going to see. One is called microeconomics, another one is called macroeconomics. What is microeconomics? Microeconomics is nothing but the decision taken by any kind of entrepreneur with reference to a firm in the short period. Macroeconomics is nothing but the government policies, rules, laws, investment positions, savings aspects, and all these aspects are connected with the macroeconomics. We have seen that choice of business, product size of firm, technology, price, market, investment, profit, managing stock, theory of demand, production, capital. Capital means money. Anything which helps further production is called capital. And investments. Analysis of market structure and pricing theory. Profit analysis and profit management. These all comes under the category of microeconomics. And macroeconomics, types of economic system. What is the economic system? Economic system is nothing but the system followed by our government. That is, we are following mixed economy. Foreign countries, that is, USA is following capitalistic system and China is following socialistic pattern. Under what basis that the government is following the economic system? The economic system, in our economic system, we are calling as mixed economy, that is the coexistence of both the private sector and the public sector. And we have to also take into consideration the structure of working capital, the day-to-day capital aspects needed for doing the business. Trends in production, income, savings, prices, employment. Employment are four factors of production. We have got four factors of production: land, labor, capital, organization. Investment, labor, capital markets, etc. And the political environment. Political environment is nothing but the government who is going to enact rules and regulations, acts then and there with reference to the business community. Say, for example, the various kinds of taxation, including GST. This is called the political environment. Social organizations and unions. Industrial policy, that is, the industrial policies are put forward by the government, then and there. Monetary policy, RBI's policy, fiscal policy, that is, government policy with reference to taxation, and price policy. All these are determined by the government. Meaning of demand. I have already told you the demand, the willingness to purchase some goods by way of paying some amount of money. The number of units of a particular type of goods and services that a customer willing to buy and able to purchase during a specific period under some conditions. What is the objectives of demand analysis? The basic objective is to make pricing decisions, forecast of sales, and formulate market strategies. These are all the very important things that any kind of entrepreneur who is intended to start a business, that he must know all these three aspects. There is pricing decision, forecasting of sales, and formulating marketing strategies are the three important objectives of demand analysis. Market demand. He must know how we are in a position to market all kinds of goods and services. That this is called the market demand, individual market demand and group market demand. And now we have to see the short period and long period. The above diagram shows that how he is in a position to, per unit of goods and services, that he is in a position to sell in the market is shown in the diagrammatic representation. Market demand can be short run as well as the long period. Short run period as well as the long period. Short period is nothing but this period is up to 1 year. This period is up to 5. There is long period is period up to 5 years. The supply can be increased by changing variable inputs. Supply can be increased by changing all inputs, both fixed and variable cost. Demand and supply influences the prices. Supply influence the price very much. So short period is nothing but any kind of entrepreneur who intends to setting up of his business units and tries to produce the product within 1 year. And if it is a long period, there are certain kinds of manufacturing industries requires up to 5 years or more than 5 years in order to set up their business units or to finish or to complete their business units after 5 years. Determinants of market demand: price of the products, prices of the related products, and he must know the consumer's income and consumer's taste and preferences. These are all called the various market demands. Then demand analysis. Demand analysis, the law of demand states that when price increases, demand decreases. When price decreases, demand increases is the statement of the law of demand. Schedule is nothing but a tabular statement. Demand schedule is nothing but a tabular statement showing different quantities of a commodity at different prices during a given period of time is nothing but the demand schedule. It is a list shown. Then elasticity of demand. Elasticity is nothing but change. There is change in price, change in demand. It is a responsiveness or sensitiveness of demand change in its determinant factor. That is, change in price due to change in demand is nothing but elasticity of demand. There are 3 types of elasticity of demand. Number 1 is price elasticity. That is, it is a responsiveness of demand for a commodity to the change in price is called price elasticity. Income elasticity is nothing but change in demand is due to change in income of the consumers. Cross elasticity, the responsiveness of demand for commodity, say X, to change in the price of related goods, say Y. That is, we have to consider 2 kinds of goods and services. For example, tea and coffee. What about the position of tea when its price changes, that is increase or decrease? And now he is in a position to how a consumer is substituted for going for a cup of coffee if its price increases or decreases. This is called the types of elasticity of demand. Then how we are going to measure the elasticity of demand? There are 4 important methods are available. Number 1 is percentage method. Elasticity of demand, that is change in price is due to change in demand, is calculated with the help of percentage. With the help of percentage is called the percentage method. Then total outlay method. It refers to the change in total expenditure. Outlay means expenditure. Total expenditure before and after the change in the price of the commodity. Then point method. It is a geometrical method which is used when elasticity is to be measured at different points on the straight line demand curve. A curve which is always slopes downwards from left to right in the point that we are going to show elasticity is infinite, elasticity is greater than 1, elasticity is less than 1, elasticity is equal to 0, and elasticity is 0. In the arc method, an arc is a portion or segment of a demand curve. When the price demand forecasting is an estimation of sales amount or physical units at a specified future period under a proposed marketing plan. Then utility analysis. What is meant by utility? The want satisfying power of consumers with reference to get some types of goods and services in the market. That is want satisfying thing of a commodity, either goods or services. What is meant by total utility? It refers to the sum of utilities derived by a consumer from varieties of units, goods and services he consumes. Marginal utility. Utility derived from the marginal unit consumed by the consumers obtained from the additional unit of a commodity. What is the relationship between marginal utility and total utility? Marginal utility declines and the total utility increases. When marginal utility reaches zero, total utility reaches maximum. When marginal utility becomes negative, the total utility declines. This is the relationship between marginal utility and total utility with reference to the consumer's point of view. Then indifference curve. Indifference curve is nothing but it is based on the ordinal ranking preference. That is, utility analysis, the satisfaction is measured in terms of numbers here, we are going to rank the preferences made by the consumers. It is introduced by J.R. Hicks and R.G.D. Allen. An indifference curve shows the combinations of two commodities which gave the consumer equal satisfaction. Equal satisfaction. Indifference curve is nothing but the combinations of two different commodities are drawn in the form of a diagram, is nothing but indifference curve. Then indifference schedule. It is a list showing various combinations of X and Y that the consumer consider equal satisfaction. Indifference map. A set of indifference curves describe a person's preference, that is consumer's preference, nothing but indifference map. Then properties of indifference curve. Indifference curve cannot intersect with each other. That is, a person's preference and satisfaction differs from another person's preference and satisfaction. Then indifference curve are convex to the origin. No two indifference curve intersect each other. Indifference curve represents higher level of satisfaction and lower level of satisfaction. That is, if the higher indifference curve shows higher level of satisfaction and lower level of indifference curve shows the less satisfaction or lower level of satisfaction. Then law of variable proportion. The law of variable proportion states that as the quantity of one factor is increased, keeping the other factors fixed, the marginal product at the factor will decline. That is, I have already told you what are the four factors of production: land, labor, capital, organization. If one factor is increasing, other factors are fixed, the marginal product of that factor will decline. Up to the usage of certain amount of variable factor, that is, the factors are varying after 1 year. That is, the wages of the labor and the money put forwarded by an entrepreneur for his enterprise after 1 year, because of changes in the changing of product in the market, he necessarily put some amount of money in order to increase the taste and preference. In order to increase the taste and preference of the consumers, he must change the style of the product. The marginal product of the factor may increase and after it starts diminishing. When the variable factor becomes relatively abundant means large, the marginal products may become negative. Here I have shown the units of labor, total product, marginal product, the average product. With the help of the schedule that we are going to see the diagrammatic representation. There are three stages. One is called increasing returns, another is diminishing returns, another is negative returns. In the first diagrammatic representation, increasing returns, that is, both the total product, average products and the marginal product in the initial stages are increasing. And in the stage diminishing returns that we are witnessing, and all the three products are increasing, not as it is in the first stage, starts to decline. That is, in the second stage, diminishing returns, total products start increasing, average products start increasing, and marginal products increasing at a slower level. In the negative returns, that is in the stage 3, total product and average products diminishes and marginal products becomes negative. This is called the law of variable proportion. That is, any kinds of business organization in the initial stage, the products produced by the consumers may supposed to increase. In the second stage, starts to decline, and in the third stage becomes negative. This may be due to the number of competitive firms may be in the market, and the particular type of a product produced by the entrepreneur may not sell out more in the market. So these are all the various reasons in which the law of variable proportions that we have got three stages is operating. Laws of returns to scale. It examines the relationship between the output and the sale of inputs in the long run when all the inputs are increased in the same proportion. So these returns to scales are nothing but it is operating only in the long run, and we have got the input as well as the output position in the long run, that is after 1 year. What about the relationship between the two? How the input as well as the output are doing, that is having the performance after 1 year when all the inputs are increased in the same proportion. There are three stages of returns to scale: increasing returns, diminishing returns, and constant returns. Increasing returns, just like that I have shown in the diagrammatic representation. Increasing returns, the products are increasing. In the diminishing returns, the products are start to diminish. And the loss of constant returns, there is no improvement in the production state or in the production by any business unit. That is, the products will not increase or will not decrease at this stage. Likewise, that we have got number of firms are available. In order to retain the labor in the industries, and they have to be, since the products are produced by these institutions, will be utilized by all kinds of people. Still, that is why such kinds of institutions may not be thrown out from the market. That is why the law of constant returns are operating. So we have got three stages are operating. Then market structure. I already told market is a place where buyers and sellers are meet together for buying and selling, and the values of the products are determined in terms of prices. We have got the types of markets are classified under perfect competition, monopoly, monopolistic competition, oligopoly, price leadership, and price discrimination. In the perfect competition market, where there is a large number of buyers and sellers are available, homogeneous product is sold in the market, and the freedom of entry and exit of firms, and the perfect knowledge with reference to the product, and the marketer is taking the independent decision. A firm under perfect competition is price taker and not a price maker, and the demand curve is perfectly elastic. That is, the industry is fixing the prices, that is why it is called price taker, and the firms are fixing the prices, it's called price maker, and the demand curve is perfectly elastic. What do you mean by elastic? The term elastic refers to small change in price leads to great change in demand is called elastic, and inelastic demand refers to a great change in price leads to a small change in quantity demanded is called inelastic demand. Monopoly. It is a form of the market in which there is a single seller in the market. There are no close substitutes, either in terms of legal, technical, or the entry of firms in the market is prohibited. A monopoly has complete control over price and can also practice price discrimination. Railway in India is a monopoly since there is only one producer of a product in the market. Then monopolistic competition. It is a form of the market in which there are many sellers of the product, but the product of each seller is somewhat different. For example, firms producing different brands of toothpaste such as Colgate, Close-Up, Pepsodent. When firms producing different brands of soap such as Lux, Hamam, Pierce, Lifebuoy, etc. Just like that also in the case of washing powder and blades and shampoos. Features of monopolistic competition is a freedom of entry and exist from any firms can enter into the market and they can do the business and they can also exit our firms if they supposed to face competition. There is large number of buyers and sellers are available in the market. Selling cost is nothing but the advertising cost in order to sell these products in the market. Product differentiation. Product differentiation is nothing but there are different kinds of products are produced by the consumers that I have already told. Non-price competition, product variations and selling cost are alternative methods adopted by firms to increase sales. Since the products are slightly differentiated, selling cost is an important variable which affects the sales pattern. Therefore, through advertisement, the seller seeks to achieve a delicate balance between commodity homogeneity and heterogeneity. Excess capacity. It is the difference between the optimum output, that is, the output in which that he wished to produce, that can be produced, and the actual output that he has produced. In a long run, the monopolist firm produces an output which is less than the optimum output, that is, the output corresponding to the minimum cost. This leads to excess capacity, which is regarded as waste in monopolistic competition. Then group equilibrium. A group is nothing but a collection of firms producing products which are close substitutes. Oligopoly. It is a form of the market in which there are few sellers of commodities and a large number of buyers. In oligopoly, there is a high degree of interdependence among the sellers regarding their price and output policy. The price and output decision of one seller significantly affects the price and output decision of other sellers in the market. For example, there are only a few auto producers in the Indian market. These are Maruti, Tata, Fiat, and Ford. Watch producers, Titan, HMT, and Maxima. Price leadership. A price leader is an oligopolist who price changes consistently imitated by other firms in the industry. The oligopolist keep a sharp eye on the market demand and pass that all the firms and its price increases and decreases followed by the rival firms. Price leadership, that is types of price leadership. Number one is price leadership by a low cost firm. That is, the low cost firms are nothing but the cost of production is less. They are producing the homogeneous products. Same price prevails in the market and equal shares are available in the market. Price leadership by a dominant firm. Dominant firms sets the market price. Small firms to sell all as they wish at this price. Barometric price leader, which is able to forecast future developments in markets and assumes the role of the leader. The leader will protect the interest of the welfare of all other firms in the market and also his own market. Price discrimination. It is a pricing strategy adopted by the seller charging different prices for the same product or service to the customer. For example, if a cell phone seller charges rupees 10,000 to one buyer and 12,000 rupees to another buyer for the same brand. Forms of price discrimination, that is personal discrimination. Doctors or lawyers charge different fees depending upon the different cases or patients Time discrimination, telephone rates of IST or STD. Age, that is in a bus or in railway, different charge, that is half of the rate are charged below the 12,000 years of age. Locational, location means dumping of goods and services by the, the Indian government to the foreign government. That is, it charges high prices in the local market and less prices in the foreign market. Size, there is process in the retail market and higher than in the wholesale market. That is, the prices in the retail market is high and low in the retail market. Quality variation. For example, paperback is cheaper than deluxe edition of the same book meant for libraries. Special service. Air travel fee differs first class travel and second class travel. Use. Electricity department charges different prices for domestic consumers as well as for industrial users. Product discrimination. Railway charge different rates for carrying coals and cotton. Cartel. A cartel is a combination of firms whose object is to limit the scope of competitive forces within a market produces. It is in a cartel explicitly agree to cooperate the setting prices for the output levels. The cartel becomes feasible only if the number of firms is not very large. Example, theatre tickets, medical services, as well as cement prices. Bilateral monopoly, a market with a single seller and a single buyer is called bilateral monopoly. Price is determined here by the collective bargaining between the buyer and the seller. Break-even point. It is a point of activity where total revenue and sales are equal. It is a point of zero profit and zero loss. There is no profit, no loss. This is a point of business activity where an entrepreneur starts his business beyond that limit. Pricing strategies. Cost plus pricing. Cost plus pricing is widely used by the business firm. This practice involves setting price on average cost plus a markup designed to provide a target rate of return. Advantage of cost plus pricing include stable prices, a simple formula for pricing and a clear justification for price changes is price is equal to average variable cost plus average variable cost, that is margin that he is in a position to fix. Then multiple product pricing. The price theory or microeconomic tools of price determination are based on the assumption that a firm produces a single homogeneous product. In actual practice, how the production of a single homogeneous product by a firm is an exception rather than a rule. Pricing in life cycle of a product. There are 5 stages in a life cycle, that is introduction of the product, growth of the product, maturity. Maturity is the stage in which sales continues to increase but at a lower rate and the total sales evenly becomes constant. Saturation period, the stage which is neutral with neither increase nor decrease in the sales volume. Decline, the stage which is continue falling. Peak load pricing. The demand for a commodity or service varied at different periods of time. It has been suggested that high price of a commodity be charged for a peak load which demand is greater and lower price can be charged for offload period when demand is lower. That is skimming price. It is known as charging higher price in the initial stage and can be followed by a firm by charging skimming price on the new product in the initial stage. When demand is unknown, market is divided into segments on the basis of different degrees of elasticity of demand of different consumers. For example, in the beginning, the prices of computers, TVs, and electronic calculators, etc., were very high, but now they are declining year by year. A high initial price, together with heavy promotional expenditure, may be used to launch a new product if conditions are appropriate. Penetration pricing. It is known as charging lowest price for for the product, and it is aimed to quicken sales, capture market share, utilize the industrial capacity, and keep the competitors away from the market. Penetration price is a long-term pricing strategy and should be adopted with great care, and it is successful when there is no elite market. Economics of scale. It refers to while doing the business, it is the duty of an entrepreneur to minimize the cost after some stages, that is after 1 year or after 2 years. That is, the wastages can be minimized is the main aim of the economics of scale. Economics of scale refers to the cost advantages. There are two kinds of economies: internal economics and external economies. When a firm expands its scale of production, the economics of scale which accrue to this firm. When the gains accruing to all the firms in an industry due to the growth of the industry. In short, internal economies are due to the expansion of industrial firm, while external economies arise due to the growth of the entire industry. Diseconomies is nothing but the cost disadvantages to the firm. What are all the things which is needed for producing the product? What are all the things which is wasted by him can be studied by an entrepreneur in order to avoid all these things. It's nothing but the diseconomy, disadvantages to the firm. Externalities. An impact of positive or negative effects of any party which is not involved in a given economic transaction or not. That is, it refers to the external forces beyond any business unit. Training to personnel is an example of positive externality. That is, while doing his business, an entrepreneur may be supposed to give training to its personnel from the outside the industrial organization or in a training center in which that he has to spend the amount of money. And waste is negative externality arising from consumption, that is the pollution. Cost of function. The relationship between the cost and output. Cost is nothing but the value of the cost of raw materials and given to the wages to its labor, etc. It is derived from the production function. What is by production function? It expresses the relationship, the input and output of a firm goes by the name, the term production function. Expresses the relationship between the input and output. Explicit cost, actually paid by the firm. It is recorded in the book of accounts. That is, it is nothing but accounting cost. For example, wages and salaries, prices of raw materials, fuel, power, advertisement, taxation, etc. Implicit costs are nothing but rest of the cell phone building, interest of cell phone capital, insurance premium paid by the entrepreneur in order to safeguard his machinery as well as the business establishment. Types of cost. The total cost borne by the entrepreneur while at the time of producing a product. Fixed cost is nothing but money spent towards building, and the machinery is nothing but fixed cost. The average cost, total product divided by the number, how much amount of money that he is in a position to spend on an average per year. Variable cost is nothing but each and after 1 year, each and every year, that the cost of interest, the cost of wages to the labor may vary according to the increase of products by an entrepreneur.